All right, good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Panama City. I'm Bob. Um, I've not been able to get out on the water for the last 2 weeks. Had to work. Worked this morning too. And it's 10 o'clock, and I'm just now pulling up on my first spot to fish. Just had projects going that I had to be there. So they're done now, and so I can come fishing. Um, we're going to stay in the bay today. The wind's blowing pretty bad. And I'll show you what the waves look like in case you can't tell. And I don't know if you can hear the wind in that or not, but wind's blowing pretty good, almost straight out of the east. I mean, we're not far off of facing due east. So wind's blowing pretty good, waves are pretty good. In St. Andrews Bay, anytime you get a wind out of the east like that, St. Andrews Bay is going to get chopped up. It's not blowing terribly hard. It's probably only blowing about 10 to 12 miles an hour, but it just builds this bay up where you get this rough water. We pulled up on the sailboat wreck. I was wanting to go offshore, but that ain't gonna work. So pulled up on the sailboat wreck, and this is the wreck down here. And then these are all fish that are up here in the water above it, bait up in here in the water. And normally this time of the year, what I'm fishing for is grouper. The grouper season is closed, other than black grouper and a couple of the others. Reds and gags are closed, and that's typically what we catch here in the bay. Doesn't mean we can't catch any, it just means we can't keep any. But I'm just going fishing today, not looking to keep anything. If we could have gotten offshore, I might could have caught some beeliners and kept them. But just wanting to get out here and go fishing. I did have a good Thanksgiving. I hope all of y'all did too. I've got 3 daughters, and we were able to get together with all 3 of them. And because we won't see them at Christmas, we went ahead and did Christmas with the kids while we were together. And one of the things that one of my daughters and her fiance got me for Christmas was a new reel. So they got me this Penn Rival 20, and I went and bought a Daiwa. I call it a carrot stick. I've got another one that's medium heavy, but this is a 7-foot FT Boat Series, medium heavy, fast action. I've got 40-pound braid on it, and so I'd like to try it a little bit today. And because we're members of Walmart Plus, I got a text from them that they were having a Black Friday sale online. And so I got online, and they had, this is a Penn Spinfisher 6. So it's not the newest model. They got a 7 out now. But it's a Penn Spinfisher 6 on a 7-foot. It doesn't say what the weight on this rod is, but I'm assuming that it's medium heavy or heavy. It's pretty stout. It's rated for 30 to 65 pound braid. It's a 7500 series reel, so it's a bigger reel than any others that I've got. But they had it on sale for $129. That's 60% off what the regular price is. So I couldn't resist. I had to buy it. Probably should have bought more than one, but I don't know that I necessarily need any. But this is the rod and reel that I'm going to start with. I've got 80-pound braid on it, and I'll either run 80 or 100-pound leader on it, and we're going to see if we can catch some fish. And what I put on here is a 2-ounce weight to 100-pound swivel. I've got about 1.5 foot of 80-pound Andy leader, 8/0 Mustad Demon Perfect Circle hook. I just threw some chum over the side, and I'm watching the fish come up and eat it. I like that. Problem is, it's probably red snapper. I don't catch red snapper here a lot, but I've got a couple of videos out there where we fished here and caught some good keeper red snapper. Red snapper's closed. I still like to catch them. That made the bait just as quick as I dropped it down. There we go. Perfect. Now, he wouldn't be a keeper even if they were in season. But they're pretty fish. He's probably 20 or 21 inches. Actually, he's 18. But a pretty fish. That's a big snapper I was thinking I was seeing down there. He's not real big. He's probably 18, 19 inches. He'd be a keeper. So one of the questions that I got asked, I don't know, a couple of videos ago, was about the different rigs that I use. And I keep it fairly simple. So this is a bottom, fish finder rig. So you got about a foot, foot and a half a leader, weight and a swivel, hook at the bottom. What that does is it allows the bait to kind of float around behind the weight. I also use a bottom knocker, and a bottom knocker has the weight right up against the hook, like this. So you got the weight, the hook, all right together. And then I use a Carolina rig, and I don't think I've got a Carolina rig out right now. No. But with a Carolina rig, the leader is over 3 feet. And I'll go up to 7 or 8 feet on the leader if that's what the fish tell me that they want to see. I know the guys down in South and Central Florida that fish for mutton snapper use a much longer leader on theirs. I mean, I've seen them use 15, 20-foot leaders with a bigger weight, so that the bait is way behind the weight. I don't have to use anything that big here. I'll go to a 6 or 7 foot leader. Typically, if I'm doing that, I'm not fishing on the bottom. I'm fishing in the middle of the water column somewhere, maybe close to the bottom. But what that does is it puts the bait away from the weight. But those are the three main rigs that I use for fishing out here. I do use jig heads and stuff like that as well. And I've got a couple of them tied on because I brought some squid. And when I'm fishing for triggerfish or beeliners, a lot of times I'll either use a bottom knocker or I'll use the swing jig. I will go to a high-low rig every once in a while, but I prefer just either a bottom knocker or a jig for triggers and beeliners, mangroves, stuff like that, lane snapper. But for triggerfish, or not for triggerfish, for red snapper and grouper, I like a fish finder rig because it keeps the weight away from the bait. I'll still use the bottom knocker a lot, but it's just, I let the fish tell me what they want. I'll go ahead and use the bottom knocker. See if I can figure out what these smaller fish are that are eating the bait. smaller red snapper. Good, how you doing? Epic Inshore, Panama City. Thank you. All right, the wind was blowing really bad. Now we're still in St. Andrews Bay, but on the other side of St. Andrews Bay, creating a lot of waves that made the nose of the boat jump up and down. So we've moved to the north end of the bay, and I'll show you the bottom where I'm at. So this is a piece of structure that's behind the boat now. This is all fish and bait. We're in 33 feet of water. So we'll try fishing here for a few minutes and see if anything will bite. I am going to rig up this other rod. I'd like to use it too. Well, we're not even getting nibbles here. And there's fish here. And there's no doubt. But they're, don't seem to be interested in biting. We'll keep moving. I don't have a lot of patience. If I'm in a spot that I know's got fish and they're not biting, let's move on. Little red snapper. I suspect it's what's eating my bait. There are little fish that are just down there wearing me out. I don't know if they're snapper or rubies or I don't know. Hopefully we'll catch one and we'll be able to see. There we go. Red snapper. Not quite a keeper. Another little red snapper. And I'll show you what the bottom looks like here. So that's the structure down on the bottom right there. And it's just a little bit of live bottom. That's all bait and fish. But the only thing that's biting down there is those little snapper. And it's a little over 32 feet deep. But we'll move and see if we can find someplace else that maybe they're biting better. All right, well, I'm gonna call it a day. It's not been a banner day. We did catch some nice red snapper early. Caught a nice gag grouper. Can't keep any of them. Got a bunch of small red snapper. So, but I did catch some fish. But it's been tough. The wind has been relentless. First thing this morning when I got out here, and it was 10 before I got out here, so it wasn't the first thing, but it has not let up all day. And I swear right now it's probably 15 to 20. It's pretty rough. But caught a few fish. Got to get out in the boat. It hasn't been uncomfortably cool, but the wind has made it where I needed my jacket pretty much the whole day. I'm a Florida boy. Can't help it. Water temperature this morning was 59 degrees. Right now it's 60.5. So it's been around 60 degrees all day. I'm hoping to come back out here tomorrow, but they're calling for thunderstorms. I don't mind fishing in the rain, but I don't want to fish in thunderstorms. And I don't want to fish in a 20-mile-an-hour wind with it raining either. Makes it very uncomfortable to fish. So we're going to go ahead and go to the house. I hope to be out here tomorrow. I'm glad you watched the video. I hope you learned something. You see how I fish and, you know, baits I use, rods I use, the setups I use. And maybe they'll work for you as well. But anyway, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. It helps me out, doesn't cost you a thing. You can ring the bell if you want to get notified when I release new videos. Typically, I release 2 a week. For the last month, I hadn't been able to fish as much because of work. I hate it when work interferes with fishing, but sometimes it does. So we'll see you next time.